Hi, I'm Mayor Ron Rakowski. Today I have with me Dr. Judith Hilton, newly elected council member from District 4, and she's going to be telling us about herself and some plans for the future. Could you share with our audience your professional background, which is quite significant?
Oh, thank you. I spent 31 years in the Cherry Creek School District. I was a dance teacher at Cherry Creek High School and left there on the strong encouragement from Henry Cotton, came down to the gym and said, "You're going to be a dean." And I said, "I'm never going to be a dean." He said, "You're going to start Monday and be a dean." So I became a dean of students.
On Monday.
On Monday. What Henry said happened. And from there, I moved to the central office and became the director of employment. And I was the director of employment for about 7 years. And then Dr. Kepi asked me if I would go to Laredo Middle School, which is on the Smoky Hill campus, and serve for a year as an assistant principal, and then apply to be the principal, which I did, and became the principal. Then moved to Eagle Crest High School, where I served as the principal. When I left Cherry Creek, I had spent a lot of time working with teachers. That's really my claim to fame, is teaching and learning. So I went to Metro and taught the pre-service teachers at Metro, and also wrote and developed an alternative licensure program for administrators. And at the same time, I work for an international consulting group called ASCD, which is the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development. So I go around the country and around the world and teach teachers.
You're still doing that?
I'm still doing that, yeah.
And there are two significant names that a lot of our viewers might know that you hired?
Oh, Harry Bull and Scott Siegfried, those two?
Yes, that's exactly who I was thinking of.
Yes.
You know, I know you have a son that is very accomplished with a violin.
Yes.
And you have a daughter who is a prosecutor. Some would say that might be two ends of the spectrum.
Exactly.
Tell us more about them.
They are two ends of the spectrum, and they always have been. Although they were both athletes, although they were both terrific students, although they both have terminal degrees, they are as different as you can be. And they have chosen professions that really go with who they are. And I could not be more proud of them, unless you'd like to talk about my two grandgirls.
Well, I was about to bring up that point that some would say the whole reason you have children is so you can get to grandchildren.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is nothing that is more enjoyable and makes your heart sing than having grandchildren. And they've really enjoyed being a part of the ceremonial parts of me being sworn in and being able to have some pictures taken in front of where we're seated. And they have this notion that DG, which is what they call me, is a famous person.
You've been in the village for 42 years.
Yes.
What changes have you seen over the years that are most significant from your point of view?
Well, depending on what we're looking at, the biggest change is growth. When I started, because we moved to Cherry Creek Village North when our daughter was a year old. And at that time, I was a teacher at Cherry Creek High School. There were 8,700 students in the school district at that time.
And there are 54,000 today.
Exactly. So growth is a big deal. I've seen the development of many neighborhoods. I've seen the increased sophistication and complexity of some of the areas around us, and yet it continues to be just a terrific place to live.
What do you think your constituents would like to see happen, or what you think will happen during your term on council?
I think they're looking for several things. They are not unlike other groups of people or individual people who we would encounter. What's the number one issue that people are facing? Traffic, traffic, traffic. So that is of concern to people in District 4. They also want to make sure that we continue to preserve and protect the excellence in the Cherry Creek School District. They want to see us continue to cooperate with other municipalities, and then see whatever comes forward as something new or something alarming or something exciting, how we will deal with it.
Why did you decide to run for city council?
Well, as you can tell by my background, I always like new challenges and, your word, new opportunities. And my husband and I spent the month of May in northern Spain. And when I came back, and I was involved in some of the political experiences that were going on when the citizens were getting ready to vote on whether or not to amend the comprehensive plan. After that election, I had a number of people who approached me and said, you would be good on city council. And I said to them, just like I have with a lot of other career opportunities, I don't have any background with city council. And they said, you don't, but you have a background of leading large schools, a background in leadership, and a background with being effective in working with people and being a pretty straight shooter. So I said, okay.
I think that the best councils are those that bring people from different walks of life and different life experiences, and I think your contributions in that area are stellar.
Thank you.
When we talk about the city, what excites you most about the city of Greenwood Village, District 4, and your neighborhood?
What excites me about the city of Greenwood Village is things are done well. Things are done really well. I am a real fan of flowers and of parks and of open space that's very well maintained and managed. And Greenwood Village shines in that area, and I love it, and I use it a lot. In District 4, it has been very interesting for me to walk all of the neighborhoods in District 4 and really understand the similarities and differences. And it's been very interesting to me. And I got to walk at the time of the year where people were bringing down some of their summer flowers and bringing out their Halloween decorations. And I was always able to remember what house I'd been to based on those kinds of attributes. Now in my neighborhood, I like the fact that it is a neighborhood. I know a lot of the people. I enjoy a lot of the people. And probably the best thing is we live on Village Greens Park. So it's just open up the gate and you're out in that great big park.
As I have said in the past, most recently this morning, I think the city doesn't have challenges, it has opportunities.
True.
What would you see of being some of those opportunities?
I think coming up with a comprehensive transportation plan is critical. And I think it's going to be very difficult because we're dealing with all kinds of variables. And I think that's going to be probably one of our biggest challenges. I'm sure that there will be proposals, again, for development. I'm not against development. I want us to do development in a reasonable way so that we have a balance and that we are continuing to pay attention to some of those resources that are so critical. We've got to pay attention to what do we do with water and air and open space and cleanliness, because that's what our children and grandchildren are going to enjoy.
Well, I want to thank you very much for coming in to join me today.
Thank you.
It's been really great. And I think that it's been exciting to have you on council, and I look forward to what you'll be doing in the future.
Thank you for your support and the opportunity.